HubSpot, 15 years old. It seems like you guys like grew pretty fast early on, but has it always felt like a grind? When I see you, I'm like, well, you don't have to do this. Like you could delegate this. You don't have to work here. You're set. You're good. Why are you still doing this? And does it still feel like a grind? And when has it stopped feeling like a grind?
So a couple of things. It's not widely known, but Brian and I as co-founders, we had a kind of heart-to-heart co-founder chat, which I encourage all founders to have. And we had this list of questions we're going to go through. But one of the things was around who's going to be CEO. And we decided he's going to be CEO because I suck at being CEO. I did that with my first startup for 10 years. I'm just not that good at it. So that was kind of decision one. But decision two, which is much more unconventional, is that I have no direct reports. So my agreement with Brian was I'm not going to have any management responsibilities in this company. I'm going to be in it 100%, but I'm not a good manager. Now, I'm a reasonably smart guy. If I spent a bunch of time, I could probably, with some coaching, get passably okay at management. Like I think I could get there. I don't want to spend 10, 20, 30 years of my life getting passably good at something. I'm a big believer in take your strengths, whatever they are, and put all your energy into kind of amplifying those strengths and getting really, really good at that thing, and don't worry about your weaknesses all that much. So I don't want to worry about my weakness in managing people. And so we have over 4,000 people at HubSpot. I have 0 direct reports. I've never had direct reports in the 15 years. I don't think of it as a grind at all. It's completely discretionary and optional for me. Obviously, I have a lot of kind of vested interest in the company, but in terms of the work that I do, so to whittle down my life at HubSpot, I get it down to like 3 things I'm going to work on, and that I will change those every few years. For a long time, it was like brand, culture, and what I call boldness, which is the organization taking on enough risk? Because the temptation is always like once you start having customers and revenues are growing, things like that is just the kind of what we call drag the spreadsheet. It's like, oh, like here are the numbers. This is how it's growing. We're just going to drag the spreadsheet and the numbers will flow, basically. It's to push the organization so we don't do that. So what I do is I will maniacally focus on whatever those 3 things are and say no to pretty much everything else. Things will swap in and out. So I've had product in there. I've had platform in there. But on that thing, whatever it is I'm working on, so when I had culture on my list, it's like I spent 300 hours on the culture code deck at HubSpot. I'm going to do everything I can to learn everything I can to try and get culture to be a thing at HubSpot. I find it enjoyable. I get to kind of pick the things. So my 3 things are different from year to year. I like to dig into the details. I don't like kind of floating at 50,000 feet in lofty ivory towers. If I'm going to work on brand, I'm in there with the marketing team, like reviewing copy and going through and this is why I'm taking Sean's copywriting part. Like I obsess over details. So anyway, yeah.